So the Obama administration wrote off $22 billion in student loans back in February. A lot of people didn't hear about this because they expanded one of their forgiveness programs. This one is called Payne, P-A-Y-E, and now it makes another 6 million borrowers eligible. Now, naturally, the more someone actually borrows, the more potentially they're going to be forgiven, which explains that big number. But then again, why? Why are those with grad and professional degrees getting these gargantuan breaks? I mean, 15% of those graduates carry debt of $100,000 or more. Undergrads, not even 1%. The administration says, hey, this is a good bet. You know why? Think about this. They make so much more money than everybody else. They have the lowest unemployment rates than anybody else. But that gets back to why they're eligible in the first place. The whole thing is crazy. It's a farce. It's a ticking time bomb in a name of buying votes and also, in my mind, elitism. Joining me now, Lauren Lyons Cole. She's the Street.com contributor. Christian Whiton is back with us. All right, Lauren, I don't know how you feel about this, but we're talking about $1.3 trillion and counting. We've already got 4 forgiveness programs in place. Hillary Clinton wants to add more to the list, and it's just going to backfire. It's already costing us, taxpayers, billions of dollars.
This is a huge issue no matter how you slice it, of course. I mean, I see this with clients on a day-to-day basis where they really can't afford to make their student loan payments. So on one hand, I can understand trying to help these people. But on the other hand, for those of us taxpayers, I went to school on a scholarship. I don't have any student loans, and it feels very unfair to be paying money towards, these high earners.
What about people who didn't go to college, Christian? I mean, golly, if I'm a cab driver, you're taking my tax money because the guy I just dropped off at his $200,000 job, I got to pay his student loan? Are you kidding me?
That's right. Well, it's economically nonsensical, and it's also unfair. In many ways, education is an industry, and it's the third bubble, and government is trying to save it. It's just really unfortunate. If you rack up $100,000 getting a PhD in English Lit, you'd better be the best English Lit student that college, undergraduate, or high school has ever seen. But government keeps shoveling money in this direction, and doing these things, actually forgiving the debt, is just going to make it worse. It makes bad decisions for individuals, and worse, it's subsidizing an education industrial complex.
And as they do this, by the way, everyone, listen, the data is there. Tuition has gone through the roof because no one actually vets these things. No one ever says, hey, you're going to get a degree in something you can never pay back, so you can't have the loan. Instead, it's yes, yes, yes. And let me just point out, these the 2 main forgiveness programs, they cap your payments, your monthly payments, at 10% of discretionary income. This means after you tell them, listen, I paid for the rent or the mortgage and this and that, all I've got left is $100. You can pay 10. I mean, I'm being maybe a little bit facetious there, but after 10 or 20 years, they wipe the slate clean. Someone's got to pay that.
Yeah, these programs are very generous. You're absolutely right. They make the payments incredibly affordable for people. And a lot of times it's people who have gone to school and taking out more student loan debt than they should have ever done. This might be able to be fixed as a proactive thing if we can counsel students coming into college so that they understand.
Why would we counsel them? I mean, listen, I read an article today, Christian, some woman in the Wall Street Journal, and she's complaining she's got a pretty good job that she thought it was inferred to her that it would all be wiped clean. And that's exactly what's happening. When Hillary Clinton hits the stump, she's inferring to these kids, you won't have to pay for college. President Obama, he put these programs into place. They're buying votes, but we're talking about $1 trillion bubble that has to burst at some point.
Right. And, why is the government involved in this in the first place? It's because these decisions don't make sense economically. It's a good economic bet, and maybe a bank would be willing to do it. If you are a very good student and you want to go to law school, even an expensive one, maybe you will land one of those 6-figure jobs right out of law school and be able to service very high debt. For many people, it doesn't make sense. A better policy approach, frankly, is capping tuition like Scott Walker has done in Wisconsin and others have elsewhere. Go after the cost that way. Go after the administrators that are cranking the cost, not so much professors, but all of these vice presidents for diversity. But instead, we're just, doing what's failing.
Yeah, tell me about it. And they're buying votes along the way, but it's a wink and a nod, and I think we're all going to pay a heavy price for it. Thanks a lot, guys.